All right, it is Mailing In Thursday as we are mailing in the last 2 weeks of the FPF season. As no one listens to this podcast or watch this podcast, as we're 5 people. Wow.
Stefano Berardi, you're
Fired.
fucking fired.
Yeah, fired. All right, so we are doing Mailing In Thursday as we're going to mail it in the Div E podcast, E1, E2, or what do we call it, the Peeze Bracketology. Peeze to my left, no Stefano as he's been canned.
Well, the people have spoken, Mokan. People were displeased with him as unprofessional, displeased with him as a terrible scorekeeper, displeased with how he treated my mother at my wedding.
That was really the final factor.
Because I'm the only one who could fire him, and so that's what happened. Now he's fired.
Snubbed him. Snubbed her.
That's how it
Okay.
goes. I'm petty that way.
Eagle.
Do you think it was the right decision?
Yeah, it was.
Peace. It was obviously the right decision for you.
Anything I do is the right decision.
All right,
Stefano,
so-
was it the right decision? You're fired.
Looks like you can't answer for yourself, though.
So the poll question I have today is this Calling the Audible in terms of a record, FPF record? Are we a 2-8, a 5-5, 6-4, or 10-0 record here?
You know what? That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see
I
what people's
actually had a
So let's
good
put it
one.
up there. Put it on the poll, please.
I had a good one, but I don't remember it. I thought of it in the shower while getting ready for the show.
You know what, Mo?
thinking
I
of
don't
it?
think I want to ask that one in this way because I don't know if the responses are going to be serious or
Well, but
sarcastic.
so, like,
in
don't
which
put-
case,
don't
I'm
put
not going to
0 and 10.
sleep
feel
well.
like the only bad response for us is 5-5. Like if 10-0 or 2-8, I feel is the same answer.
Yeah, no 0 and 10s, but 2 and 8.
Yeah, like it's the same answer for us, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like either people get the show, and obviously we want you to answer 2-8, or you don't get the show and you answer 10-0. Either way, we reach most of you. The 5-5s I'll worry about.
2 and 8,
drastically.
5-5, 7-3, and 10-0. Let's see what the record will say it was. All right, Div 8. Let's talk about Div 8 quarterfinals Sunday that happened at Lachine. I was there for a good number of these games here, and the game that I saw that was phenomenal was the 5 overtime thriller, part of my swag over Jean-Guy, 15-14 final. This game could have easily not gone to 5 overtimes if part of my swag knew how to play a lick of defense. On fourth down, they were 4th and 15, Jean-Guy, and Simon Provencher made a clutch pass for a reception for a first down. They score. We go to overtime. Jean-Guy, actually, in fact, PZ was down 2-0 after 2, and they tied up and forced a 4th and 5th overtime sessions. Couldn't finish it off. Part of my swag, I think, got very lucky in this game because Simon Laporte
Well,
was...
I wrote in my article how I thought this was a particularly bad matchup for part of my swag. Jean-Guy are the right kind of aggressive to cause issues for Brad Evans.
Well, Simon Laporte.
And Simon Laporte. But Simon Laporte is an elite rusher. So here's the thing where we're going to argue. I say at least top 10 FPF.
I think he's top 5.
So I don't disagree with you.
No. He's top 10. No. Top 5.
He is exactly 9th. No, but like,
No.
so, like I'm saying like a guy who I think can easily step into a Div 1, Div 2 team and cause issues. And like worst case, Div 3 would still be like a productive rusher who would get double-digit sacks.
Yeah.
Like he's legit talented. And the fact that they don't, Jean-Guy, it's been like 100 years Jean-Guy playing the league. It's 100 years they don't realize to use him on offense. Like he legit sits down while the team's on offense. I'm like, he's your best athlete by far. By far.
Yeah, it was crazy because this was a Jean-Guy style of game. Slobber knocker, slow it down, 14, 13, one of those styles, Peeze. And I just thought that part of my swag had a lot of drop balls in the red zone. A lot of crucial drops on third down. Brad Evans was taking sacks. He didn't have a good day, and he got very lucky because if Jean-Guy had any semblance of an offense,
Which they don't.
Which
I said in like week 3 it was going to hurt them.
Exactly.
And you know what hurt them this game, Mo? The lack of offense.
Well, that's what it was. If they had 20-plus points, they win this football game.
Correct.
Part of my swag got very lucky, and I think you can ask anyone from the Hawaiian shirt man right down to everyone on that roster. They're happy they're moving on, but they got very lucky.
I was in Dominican Republic, and in a drunken stupor, I walked into a store where they were selling.
Oh, you told me about that.
Hawaiian shirts.
Mad expensive.
They were mad expensive. I was going to buy one and send a picture of myself to Brad Evans, but I was like, I'm not spending $200 on this. But I sent a picture of the rack to Brad Evans, and he's like, "Bro, I've never worn one in my life. Why do you keep doing this?"
Oh no, the headphones went out again.
Yeah, sorry, I can help you.
Damn you, Peasy.
Admittedly, this is Peace's old equipment, so I really blame him.
It's at least a decade old. That I've donated to League for free.
I mean, you're like 3-something decades old, and you're still functional, sort of.
Not functional. Not sort of.
All right.
Neither of those things.
Back on. There we go. I'm back on. All right.
No worries, Mo.
Thank you. Bud Knights blanking Exterminators 18-0. This game was nothing close.
Exterminators, like the thing is they actually played season long, played far better than they actually were. Like they played much stronger than their roster would indicate. They were a roster that lacked depth, that gave up too much on defense, but kind of just made it work in games. And at some point, they were going to run into a team that was much stronger than them, and that was Bud Knights. To their credit, they are the defense that works best against Bud Knights, but Matthew Kiljan actually found ways around that and found ways to exploit what was open. We saw Stephen Harpersad catching 6 passes, 40 yards, and a touchdown. I don't think that's by mistake. I think that's him helping him out, saying, listen, man, this part of the field is open. And then just having Stephen Harpersad and Matthew Kiljan on the same page to read the same concept, I think is what would pay dividends in this game.
Yeah, but I think also Shane Feinberg just didn't 19 yards net after.
But that's
he
the
was
thing
sacked
is
though by Anthony Gentili though.
Exterminator's offense, not great.
No.
Exterminator's defense, extremely safe, which is fine. Regular season Division E, that's what works. The problem is that it creates, when you play sort of like blanket coverage where you're taking away the flies, taking away the slants, the 10 or 12 yard area is the part where you're going to get hurt. And that's okay in the regular season Division E. In the playoffs, teams play aggressively and will attack the part of the field that you leave open. If you continuously leave the same part of the field open, offenses will go there. And Matthew Kiljan's too good a quarterback to fall into that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for the Exterminators, he didn't fall into that. And they are now out, and the Bud Knights move on to the Final Four on Sunday in Lachine. All right, so we have Threat Level Midnight winning 31-24 over Tough Lungs. I saw Justin Lerner afterwards. He said, tough loss. We missed out a couple plays. That could have been the difference for us to win this football game as TLM wins by 7. Surprised by that, how close the game was, or you thought it would be a slobber knocker?
No, it's kind of, I thought it was going to be like a coin toss either way. They're both strong teams. I think I picked opposite things on the show and in my article, to be honest, because I was like, I could see the game going either way.
So you covered yourself.
Yeah, well, not on purpose, by the way. Like, I wish I could say that I had that kind of planning, but Joe Lemieux's been good again. So, like, he's one of the few quarterbacks whose rating has degraded over time that's allowed him to play in the lower division, and he's dominated, which is fine. Like, a guy who's struggled deserves a chance to go back down and prove his name again in the lower division, and that's been Joe Lemieux's season. Matthew Lerner relying heavily on Justin Lerner in this game. It seemed like he was the only guy who can make a play for him. We saw Greg Christelis go off last week, and this week, Justin Lerner being basically the main target all game long.
It's too bad. Tough Lungs had a good roster, but I think for Matthew Lerner moving forward, he's got to have that assertiveness, that assertion that, hey, I can have that rapport with my guys beyond the last name of Lerner to become a better quarterback.
And Julien Proux for Threat Level Midnight. He actually wrote me a message this week that I haven't had a chance to answer yet. But he is actually saying how he needs more love in my articles. I think I have actually shown him a lot of love on the podcast previously. Less so in the articles just because we cover different things, the article and podcast. But he had another interception this game. He's been a difference maker for Threat Level Midnight defense. And look, offense is always going to be what attracts your attention first. But I've played against the dude. The dude is an absolute competitor. Love the kid, and happy to see him making plays for Threat Level Midnight. On the surface, I agree Tough Lungs is a stronger roster, but like there's a lot of up-and-coming names here. Antoine Barilla is a guy I've played with before. He's not well-known in this league, but he's very talented. Riley Pinecombe is a guy that the first time I saw in FPF, I was like, this guy can play. Julien Proux is a gamer. Alex Gartin is a guy who never looks the part, but he's a great teammate, never complains when he's not involved in the offense. but he'll also have games where he'll catch 3 touchdowns on like red zone fades, and he does exactly what offenses need him to do. It's a well-rounded roster in a different way from Tough Lungs. Tough Lungs has all this ability that they don't use. Tough Lungs and Threat Level Midnight instead maximizes the players on their roster.
Eagle, are we gonna do live look-ins to the NFL preseason game by chance?
Yeah, why are we watching ourselves?
Yeah, Falcons are playing the Broncos.
Why would you want to do that, though?
It's NFL.
It's quarter 1.
Third level minute, by the way, the only home team to win out of the 4 in our last game, Los Banditos blanking Trailer Park Boys 28-0.
Man, Trailer Park Boys are good. Los Banditos are good. They're so difficult to play against. They're probably the top end talent of Vincent Benjamin, Loic Savoie-Seguin, and Julian Wilson is probably the best in FPF, and François Desrochers has become a legit dual threat quarterback.
These are the guys I'm calling to win the finals. I can do this because I don't pick, but I'm calling
Trailer
them.
Park
Congrats! You're like, oh, let me take the favorite to win.
You pick Trailer Park Boys?
Coward.
No, Banditos.
You should have said Banditos. You said Trailer
Coward.
Park
So
Boys.
you
pick Trailer Park Boys,
are
actually.
you a Bozy boy perchance? Because of how cowardly you are.
I mean, I
Piece of
did-
human garbage.
I was at the combine when they were there, so yes. I
Did
guess
you
I
put the poll question up yet?
have not.
Please put it up.
It's only because I'm waiting for people to see the thread. Okay, I'll do it.
Let's put it up. Put it up. Thank you.
I had a really good one in the shower.
I'm sure it was a good one in the shower.
It was a great
We
one
can
in the
use
shower.
Rob's parents' shower and try and flush it out again.
We can recreate it.
Mm.
We can pump it out.
I need some 80s tunes going though. I may take my phone with me.
Perfect.
Also for other reasons
All right.
related to the shower.
So quickly here, Banditos over Trailer Park Boys. Yee.
Look, man. I mean, what Trailer Park Boys have done in a short period of time is impressive. That said, with the rush of Xavier Bourlet, he gave Antoine Meunier a tough time. Antoine Meunier is chucking balls into coverage, and when that coverage includes, and again, Francis Desrochers is a guy got an interception in this game. We know him more as a quarterback, but he's a phenomenal athlete, right? So if he's on the field on defense, that's yet another guy to worry about. They're not a Division E team, man. Like they are because we had questions going into the season how good Francis Desrochers would be, and the roster wasn't much improved. But now we're seeing it. Like we're seeing, oh no, this guy learned the game, and now the division's in trouble.
That's not good news for whoever's left in their
No.
schedule.
No, they'll win it.
E2. All 4 home teams won. So Mambo over Nemesis 33-24. So Mambo will move on to the Final Four, and they'll play Sunday at 8 o'clock. Any thoughts on the Mambo Nemesis final here?
Well, the better team won. Nemesis is good, but sort of thin.
But what's the biggest fall for them? Emile Janda's INTs.
Emile Janda needs to focus next season. So he's progressed as a play caller. He's progressed in making reads. He needs to be more patient in the red zone. Because we saw it again, Mo. He moved the ball.
Red Zone's is killer, man.
Like 18 for 27, that's a game where you're moving the ball. We saw Maxime Pichet and Mendy Cardishon catching half a dozen balls each. He had matchups he liked. The difference is you throw 3 interceptions in a playoff game, it's as frustrating as a guy not turning off his mic and then typing really loudly and not muting it. It's really frustrating.
It is muted.
We can
Why
hear
are
you.
so loud?
It's a loud keyboard.
We can sense that.
Jesus.
Thank you.
That's how frustrating it is.
Emile Janda's a keyboard. Put on
He's
the
a
poll,
keyboard.
please. Is Emile Janda like a keyboard?
No.
Is he a loud keyboard?
Loud keyboard. Loud, frustrating keyboard. Catarrel-esque. Look, I agree with you with the Janda analogy. Mambo is just a simple, like it's a different level of talent in that roster.
Yeah, it is. It's it's a Division Division 5, Division D team playing Division E with Nicky Papage, first-time quarterback, but exceptional athlete. So just his impact on defense, and then like a guy like that, will learn to play the position, right? And like I said, nobody remembers a time where Tim Horner was the next hottest thing in FPF. I do. He's amazing, and I'm glad he's getting his due.
All right, the end comes for Lionhearts as their Cinderella run unfortunately comes up a little short, losing 12-6 to Brewers. Jeff Lefebvre, 2 TDs, 1 INT. Chris Rose, 6 of 19 for Putrid, 76 yards. And
I don't understand going to Chris Rose at quarterback. Like,
well, you're weakening your receiving position.
yeah, and like he would have been the best receiver on the field for both teams by a long shot. I like Chris Rose a lot. I think he's incredibly talented. Anthony Yannon, Crones, MF Jones. He's a good. He goes by both names in FBF. Mo, I see your confusion. He's a guy who fills in the roster well. Like, it's a team that's not bad. It just they made a weird decision in the playoffs to go to a guy who's not their quarterback to play quarterback. And Jeffrey Lefebvre, this is a game where he didn't have to do a lot. He just had to not make the big mistake, got away with an interception, and just let his defense sort of take him to victory.
Well, the Brewers, again, continuing their march along in the Final Four. Game that I saw, Clinkers over Thundercats, 27-14. Now, the big story was Xavier Tardif, quarterback for Thundercats. And, like, he's got a real Peyton Manning approach at the line of scrimmage. Trips, right. No, you just go back. Kill. You know, one of those type of...
So do you think he's seeing anything? Or
No,
that's
he's
decided
not.
in the huddle?
No,
Okay.
he's not. Anyway, so they were down 6. They're at the 5-yard line, and the officials on that football game were giving them warnings that, like, you need to be 5 yards minimum from the snapper because you keep on taking one step forward upon the snap, and then we can call you for illegal formation. Well, guess what happened? Red zone got called for illegal formation. He wasn't happy about it, so they got moved back 5. But they got moved back a few more yards because he took an OC, and that was it for Thundercats. They lost that football game because Tardif could not keep his cool. Clinkers, though, Marc-Andre Delonier, he made some big throws. I'll give him his due. He made some big-time throws in traffic, and I know you had that look in your eyes, PZ.
Is he the best quarterback with worst fundamentals in FBF?
Simon Dage's got pretty bad fundamentals.
I mean, not as bad as Marc-Andre.
No. Dage's got pretty bad fundamentals.
Eagle, what's your thoughts?
I think Mad throws the ball really strange. He's just tall.
Yes,
and
he is just tall.
Puts his hand in the air and just kind of like spikes the ball at people just at a distance.
But here's
it's
the
very
thing,
strange.
though. And look, because of guys like Mark Bellini and Ledoux and not even Lex Dubois, but the Ledoux and Bellini, his balls come out like super slow-mo, like old school VCR when you put in slow-mo type of thing here. These have better athletes that can adapt to the ball. And I was
the team is the strongest team in E2, right? Like
yeah.
I think we can all agree. Like, this is a team we thought would be competing in the E1 side of the playoffs, but due to their inability to be truly competitive, they fall to E2. But the team now, as constructed, should win the championship.
It's a clear path for them. It really is. There shouldn't be any other obstacles. We'll talk about the Final Four, which, by the way, their next game is pretty tough. But Blackouts, hammering Canes, 46-8.
I've been saying all season I love Blackouts. And Canes, the problem is like, so they won the previous round by just being better athletes. Blackouts have good athletes too, so it becomes difficult. Like, you need to take scheming, and Canes just aren't at that point in their FAF development.
So, because of that, we have our Final Four then. We have Clinkers, Mambo, Brewers, Blackouts. Start with Clinkers, Mambo. That's a big game, and that might be the last toughest test they have, except for maybe Blackouts if they beat Brewers. But your keys for this Clinkers versus Mambo game?
Mambo is the whole U family tree of teams. They are incredible at adapting their defensive playbook mid-game to what you're doing offensively. Marc-Andre is a smart play caller who tends to be a stubborn play caller. That isn't a good recipe for him. They needed Mambo to get knocked off by a lockdown or nemesis. This is the worst remaining game in the bracket for Clinkers. I'm sure they're complaining. Has Marc-Andre written a message complaining that they're not playing Blackouts yet?
No, he did complain that they weren't in E1 though.
Oh, okay.
Okay, whose fault is that then?
After like it. I wonder whose fault it is. You weren't better in the regular season. Like, did he say, "Hey, Eagle, what the hell? You made me throw interceptions.
Hold on here.
Did
hold
he
on
say, what the hell? My defense didn't stop enough guys.
No.
So why is it your fault?
Because we could have done a strength of schedule analysis
Okay.
because they were like, well, our schedule was hard and we went 6-4.
So, but then
we should
they
have
also
been better.
lost. But then, like, yeah, they beat some impressive teams. But wouldn't that mean they also lost games to teams they should have beaten?
Correct.
So shut up.
So hold on here. If Marc Andre wins the FPF championship,
Yeah,
that means he has more titles than you guys?
correct.
No.
It means that I am the best quarterback coach in FPF history.
Yeah, we can't.
Mo, how many you got? 2?
2.
He's halfway
Yeah, but
there.
you had 2 when there was like 8 teams and half of them were 90 years old. Relax.
And he's halfway there then.
Stop.
Think about it.
You like FPF was a glorified dodgeball back in your day.
No, not at all.
It was the lowest grade of talent in FPF
No,
history.
Div 1 back then was much better than what Div 1 is today.
Really, there were CFL players in Div 1 back then.
Yeah, there was.
Gino DeFazio was also a Div 1
There
quarterback.
was. And the top...
Gino DeFazio was a Div 1 quarterback back
No,
in
he
the
didn't play the Div 1
He
quarterback.
did back
No,
then.
he didn't.
He did.
I can tell you because then he didn't play Div 1 quarterback.
Eagle.
Div
Maybe
2 he
Div
played,
2.
not Div 1. He never played Div 1 quarterback.
Whatever.
Uh,
There were no Braves, so there's no best team in the history of FPF.
Yeah, but you went on the Roosters and Dockies to finals being the greatest. Anyway, that's another story for another
Yeah,
day.
I'm always gonna move the yardstick.
That's
Mo.
another story for another
Like,
day.
it's not an argument you can win because you have the past which is established. I have the future which is ever changing. So therefore, I'm always gonna win the argument.
Not necessarily because you'll never see 3. Anyway, that's another story for another day. We're in the wrong division here.
You're right. It was better when there was donkeys than when there was airplanes. Travel was better when we didn't have airplanes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Clinkers, Mambo.
Yeah.
From Mambo to beat this might be the preeminent championship game here for this side of the bracket. But
I don't fully agree
what?
because I think Brewers' defense is better than they get credit for, and I think Blackouts have an unpredictable factor that teams just don't know them and don't like. Mambo is good at data mining. They're really good at adapting in game, but the data mining really helps them in that they know and they're so experienced in FPF
Right.
that they know about teams. They know the tendency, so they'll play like a guy against a guy like myself or like a guy like Marc Andre and say this is what he likes to do. So look for this in the game, and if he doesn't do this, he's going to do this. You don't have that with Blackouts.
Can you put your hand out? Put your right arm out, Peasy. Like, put your right arm. Extend it. Look at that right there. You don't see the arm anymore. The arm's
Correct.
disappeared.
So I'm trying to keep it tight.
Yeah, I see that. We're just trying to screw around with your,
Experimenting.
we're just trying to screw around with your green screen over here.
Point is, there was like a team and a half in FPF back then. So
Brewers Blackouts.
I like this game.
But
I feel like Clinkers Mambo like might be the game of the week, or it might be a horrendous blowout.
So would you say Blackouts is the favorite in this game over Brewers?
No. I think it's even.
You think it's even?
I think it's even. Absolutely.
Blackouts are going to score 30 points.
They might not score 3. Not against Brewers.
You
Brewers'
think?
defense is really good. Brewers' defense is experienced FPF players.
Only 12.5 points given up so far in 2 playoff games.
Like, Jason Stevenson is an experienced FPF player. Jeffrey Lefebvre, when he's on defense in this division, helps a lot because, like, again, if your guy is running an out route to the sideline, he knows how to maneuver you to the sideline, a.k.a. push, so that the receiver can't make a play on the ball. Like, they're just smart defensive players. And I don't know how Julien Lachance will manage against the Brewers defense. I don't agree that Blackouts will score 30. If Blackouts win the game, it's going to be 3-2. Yeah.
Read his
And
article.
if Brewers win the game, it'll be 2-1.
Read his article on Saturday about that one. Okay. Division E playoffs. Threat level midnight. Los Banditos. So you have threat level midnight. Los Banditos. That is a 2 versus 4 seed. So our thoughts in this game is what here, Peasler, about threat level midnight against Los Banditos?
This is the game where Joe Lemieux makes mistakes, and this is the game where he can't get away with them. We talked about the Twin Towers. We talked about who's involved in the game. We talked about Julien Wilson. We talked about even Francis Desrochers on defense. Like, where's the weak spot for Los Banditos, Mo?
There is none. I don't see it.
So,
I can't forecast them having a weak
a
spot on
quarterback like Joe
Sunday.
Lemieux that takes advantage of mismatches and takes advantage of being the rusher, how is this a game he can win? I don't see a clear path to victory. This is a great thing to be used against me in a future potential hype video where I talk about how one team doesn't
When is
have
that
a
hype
chance.
video, by the way?
We don't know yet.
We'll
I
give you guys a
blame
heads
Eagle.
up about that afterwards.
Hopefully it exists.
We'll remind everyone, the 5 viewers who are watching.
That is all.
Perfect. Bud Knights, part of my swag. I like this game a lot.
Mhm.
Two teams very familiar with each other, given the guys who've gone up against each other, who played with each other. Do the secrets get revealed in a sense that PMS will know the Bud Knights and vice versa?
I think it's the opposite. I mean, yes, because of Brad Evans' involvement on Bud Knights, but I think Stephen Harpersod is just so meticulous and so intelligent in flag football that he's going to feed information about Brad Evans in a way that his defense will likely be able to take advantage. Part of my swag plays a very traditional defense and always has, and I think that might give Bud Knights the advantage.
No, the liquids have come. The alcoholic versus came, but I know what the
I
non-alcoholic
mean, look,
are.
it's obviously just water in
Yeah.
a different format.
Yeah, I see that. Here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin with it. Here he goes.
Change the camera angles.
I know, we will. We will.
You're wearing my headphones.
I'm the host.
Or you all can bring your own headphones like I do. It's
I
not an
did.
issue.
It doesn't work on the board.
You're the host?
Yeah.
That's debatable.
Steph.
The host with the lowest.
Welcome back, Steph. As you're saying before, PZ.
Yes. Those words. That is all.
Read his article. He'll tell you more in the article. Is that's what it is? A tease of the article?
Yeah, why not? Divi.
Perfect.
Article.
All right, it is now time for
Games of the week.
All right, so this
Perfect timing.
a reminder. There could be a hype
Oh,
video.
you want one of these? It's called a beer.
No. If you
It's
have water.
it's non-alcoholic.
Perfect, thank you.
I like New Stefano already.
I know.
You want
Yeah.
one? You,
No.
Perfect.
you good?
We're gonna start with.
I don't like the-
E1.
I don't like
thing
the
is-
old Eagle.
The thing is,
that's for sure.
Terry is like Stefano in that he replaces awkwardness with beer. So
There you go.
Excellent. Before we do it, the hype video, keep an eye out for that. So the winners of the E and E2 playoffs, Eagle or Peasy or Simone will reach out to you to hopefully have you come by to do a hype video, which will be done next week, I assume, right?
correct. Eagle, are we going to the field on Sunday?
Ideally, you don't have to leave your game. Your game's done, and we do everything there. But watch this space for updates because we don't know yet.
Okay, so just keep an eye out for the hype video.
Eagle, are we going to the field on Sunday?
I mean, do we have a choice?
No.
No.
Then yes.
Okay,
No choices in life, man.
games, here we go.
E1 Threat Level Midnight versus Los Banditos.
Oof.
Those Banditos.
I'm going to go with Threat Level Midnight.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, are we doing a picks?
Yeah, games of the week.
I'll tell you next week.
No, that's not how that works.
It is.
Oh man, you've taken the only thing we built for content and destroyed it and made it no content.
What? Picks?
Los Banditos. You were supposed to because we have a bet going on the picks.
What is it?
Someone pays something for somebody.
Exactly.
No, but what's the details of the bet?
Who picks more
Like,
games
who has
better?
the best record out of the E
Oh,
playoffs.
okay.
That's
Okay.
what it is.
So I'm going through 11 midnight.
Threat Level Midnight.
Yeah.
I'm going Los Banditos.
Bud Knights versus Pardon My Swag.
Bud Knights.
You know what? It's all about the Hawaiian T-shirt, man, my friend. Part of my swag.
I'm gonna go part of my swag as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Brad Evans.
And in
I am too.
E2,
Nice guy.
we have
He loves
Clinkers versus Mambo.
I love this game.
Mambo.
So
Mambo.
it's either a great game or
Mambo.
a horrendous blowout. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
exactly.
horrendous blowout. Mambo wins by 28 and a
Yeah.
half points.
Mambo.
Andre will
It'll be
go
half a
with
point
them.
just because the refs will feel so bad they'll only award half a point on the conference.
Out of every game in FPF playoffs this year, this is 100% the biggest odds towards Mambo.
Huh? Sheesh.
Next.
No offense.
Who
to
do you got,
Clinkers.
Mo?
Mambo.
Full
We got
offensive
Brewers
All
versus
the
Blackouts.
Oh, this
That's
is
a tough
one.
game. It's a tough game.
I'm going to go.
Wait,
with-
who's on Blackouts again?
Nobody you know.
Yeah.
No, I know. people.
Cristione,
Yes.
Julian Lachance.
Yes, okay. Okay.
They played
Well
well.
pretended.
Haki Zimana as well on that team.
John
Michelle.
Smith.
Michelle Haki Zimana. Good
Jack
player.
Rioff.
I'm gonna go with Brewers.
It's a bad call, Mo. Whatever. That's why That's why you're the host. You're not the.
I've been writing
drinking
Blackouts all season,
Rolling
but
Rock.
I'm gonna go Brewers in a boring, low-scoring game.
It's actually very light, Mo. You'd appreciate this beer, actually.
Who do you pick, Terry?
What?
Who do you pick? Blackouts or?
Blackouts. Yeah.
Okay, so Mail-In Thursday was a perfection type of episode here, and we have one more to go. One more episode. That'd be what, 20 minutes long next week?
Hopefully.
Yeah, perhaps.
Oh, one more episode for
No,
Davey.
it's gonna be like an hour and a half. We're doing all the championship previews.
Why is the music so freaking loud?
Because your headset volume's loud.
You can
That's a
change
very
that
good point.
in
Yeah,
your
we'll
own
do that.
headset.
All right, match words, please.
For my money, Savage Garden is the most romantic band there is.
Truly madly deeply. Can't go wrong with that. Like a
Can't
Chicken
go.
Cherry Cola.
And honestly, I felt so much ass during that song.
Different song, but Chicken Cherry Cola. It's a line
That's
from one
a
of
good
their songs.
Good night, Rumbaloo Lukaku.
And I'm thinking to a place where it's don't mind a magenta being.
It's good impersonation.
I don't know the rest because he sings it so loud. Like a Chicken Cherry Cola. It's the only part that I remember.